We've dropped body fat while we're doing it. We've increased our cardiovascular health through the roof, where the point is we went and did an hour of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and hardly broke a sweat. Right? We breathed through that. We were sweating our asses off, but I didn't feel like I was taxed at any point.
Conditioning was solid, yeah.
So conditioning is really good, and we're moving our bodies in dynamic ways. Right? We're picking up, we're carrying heavy things at different points. So that works for us, and I feel like anybody over a certain age, once you get to a certain level, you're going to have benefit from us. We've got a young guy like Carmen who's in his 20s. He finds a lot of benefit from it.
Is he in his 20s?
Yeah. So these are the things that really kind of make the difference. However, there's 1,000 different ways you can apply training. How I want you to approach it is approach it from the standpoint. I want to maximize results, minimize injury, work around the injuries I currently have, because we'll all have injuries at some point.
Yeah, I want to spend some time on that.
And then what we want to do is we want to find dynamic ways to ensure that we move our body in every way possible, so that we have mobility. Right? You should be able to squat down to your haunches and stretch out. You should be able to do jumps. You should be able. There shouldn't be a lot of things you shouldn't be able to do unless you are restricted by a massive injury that stops you from doing it. If you have an injury that stops from doing it, you can work around the injury and incorporate exercises to strengthen that injury.
Yeah, I think injuries become excuses for people. And then what happens with injuries, and I live this, where you blame it and then you take rest to try to heal or recover from it. And that time off, it gets you out of your routines. It gets you, like I know guys that have had, like recently, had rotator cuff surgery or arm kind of surgeries. And they even go so far as to say, well, I guess it's going to be leg days a bunch for the next 6 weeks or however long it is. So it's the idea that they didn't stop training even though they got a surgery or something major that went on. Like one guy actually, it was his bicep he tore. And the whole point is like we all have injuries. Yeah. Everybody has things.
And I mean,
things
again,
come up.
You have an injury. There is a point of time that you have to rest, and there's a point of time of recovery. But there's a point of time where recovery means moving.
Yeah.
And wise words from a friend of mine who trains at EOS here in Brandon, right? Courtney. Courtney's 67 years old. Looks fantastic, right? And best advice he ever gave me. He said to me, whatever you do when you in training, never ever stop training. It goes through sickness, through health, through good days, through bad days, because it's like a marriage. Make sure you get to the gym and have a workout. Even if you're coming in here and you just ride the bike for 10 minutes, just come in and do something, because that has been my key as someone who's in 67 in phenomenal shape. We're talking about a guy where you see him, you won't believe he's 67 and he looks fantastic. You know, muscles are popping, everything looks great. He says, the only thing I can give you is do not ever stop, regardless of what's happening in your life.
Well, I think too, it's like things in life are addictive. Not training can become addictive really fast because it's just easier not to train. Same with sugar. Sugar is addictive. So you start you fall off the diet and you have a snack that leads to another snack and another, and you just like days on end go by, and it's hard to overcome that addiction because it's comfort. It's dopamine rush and hits. Yeah. And it's the same idea with not training. It's easy to get off the horse because if you don't do something right. So to me, I take off days when my body warrants it. I don't like to take off days though, just because I like to go train, but I also know that deep down inside, like I don't ever want to stop training. So for me, going just keeps me rolling. Like I just like to do something. Even on the days that I do something, I still move my body somehow. Like even yesterday, I got steps in.
There's the therapeutic part of it as well, right? So you know, you have to learn, as you say, you need to learn to apply rest, right? But rest is not systematic. So I wouldn't accumulate to say to someone, well, train 6 days a week and have a rest day. Some weeks are going to be really good and you can train 7 days a week. Some weeks are going to be more challenging. You might need to take a couple of days off. You need to learn to tune in with your body, right? But don't be a bitch. Yeah. Like tune into your body in a way that you're going to get the maximum out of it and be honest with yourself, right? It's not the day where I just don't feel like, oh, you know, 2 days is a good day for rest day. We're talking about the days where you can feel like my body's run down. Yeah. I've had a little bit too much. I need to take a step back. I need to take a bit of a rest day, increase a couple of calories, and then maybe just go for a walk.
Well, the guy that's joined us, I won't say his name, but one of the things to me in the beginning, and this is what I did, but basically I suggested to him, like, you need to throw that vest on and walk on one day. That's your day's activity. And the next day it's going to be push-ups and sit-ups and squats. Yeah. And then come weight train with us one day. But like every day should be something for a few months to get into the habit of this is a non-negotiable. You have to make this a priority.
Yeah. And I'll take a step in, you know, the doing 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats a day as a bare minimum. You know, Ric Flair, as I always said, is a great epitome to this. This is what he does every single day of his life. Guy looks phenomenal for his age, right? And he's super healthy. He's had health issues, but who doesn't? But he's
a heavy partier back in the
mobile.
day.
Yeah, so heavy. But he's a mobile guy, right? So you want to do these things every single day that fundamentally work in your favor.
Right.
You know, even the days when, if I can't get to a gym, I'll do push-ups and sit-ups, and I'll do some squats, right? And trust me, you do 100 squats, you're going to feel it. You do 100 push-ups, you're going to feel it. You do 100 sit-ups, you're going to feel it.
I mean, in the hotel, I've done workouts like that. Like, you can easily do a quick medley in the hotel room. You don't need a gym.
It takes you 10, 15 minutes. You get it all out the way.
Burpees. You can do burpees.
You've got a day, right? And do you want to do it? No. But fundamentally, it's choosing the hard things now to have the easy things later, or choose the easy things now and have the hard things later.
Well, and because of the age that I'm at and people around me, like I'm around those that are elderly, and you see those that didn't take care of themselves, and watch how hard it is for them to move around.
Yes.
Watch, like, what's their biggest fear? Falling
and hurting themselves.
Yeah. So, like, I see this, and I see people in my life, loved ones that I care about, that are struggling to go from place to place, even just being able to help them in the vehicle and down out.
Yeah.
If you, like, and whatever, like, we all choose our life, but, like, to me, choosing to train, choosing to continue to be in the gym, like, who was the guy you sent the video last week? It was like 75, and he was showing his legs on the video.
Yeah, Tom Platt.
Tom Platt, that's who it was. Like, the dude's 75 years old and looks better than most 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, he looks incredible, right?
Yeah.
So it's the idea that the guy never stopped training, and he's always placed his wellness as a priority.
Yeah.
And that's the ticket. Like, even this guy that we were just talking about a second ago, one of the things we said to him today, or you said, even if you have 30 minutes, go in there, hit some dumbbells.
Do something.
Do some kind of training.
Just move and get going, and then create a habit out of it. And that, it's when things are going well, it's easy to keep a habit going, right? Everything's going well. As we talked about in the last podcast, when everything in life is consistent, then consistency is consistent. It's easy, right? You can apply it easily. It's when life takes the knocks, things kind of fall in, your schedule changes, this changes, that changes. This is the time when you have to really put that work in. And choosing your exercise routines is as important. In a gym, you want to, you can get as much value out of doing a push-pull routine. So a push-pull routine is one day I do a whole range of push exercises, upper body, lower body. Another day I go and do a whole pull routine. You could do a full body workout and, do a little bit of leg. There's so many variations of what you could do, right? There's a good study that came out from I think Atia put out. He's one of the scientists who looks at longevity and exercise, and you can get as much benefit. Let's say you work a 12-hour shift, right, and you have a pull-up bar. And what you do is, throughout the day, the same way as I would spend an hour in the gym doing these exercises, I spread those exercises through an entire day. In the morning, I do a couple of bicep curls. I rest to go through my day, I work, and then I do some pull-ups. Rest, go through the day, I do some sit-ups. I rest to go through the day, I do a couple of squats. And they, based on the end, you still got the workout in, right? It's a slightly different variation, but you're still getting the benefit of it. So this particular podcast, what I'm trying to get to everybody is you're going to have everybody throw you with 1,000 different ways of how to do something, right? None of them are right and none of them are wrong.
Yeah.
Right? They're just a version that you have to go through to find what works for you. Now, there's a couple of versions that people have systematically said this is the best way. It's not, it's just the most popular way.
I like to take the approach on my social media, like I'm active, but I'm not the most incredibly active person. But whenever I share things about health and fitness, I never come at it from a place of you should do this or you have to do this. I say what I've done, what my experience is, because I know that I'm not the end all be all. I'm not the only one. Same with you. There's plenty of other people out there. We just had a vegan on our podcast. Like, we don't align with that, but we respect it.
Yeah.
The idea is that you have to figure out what works for you. Follow that person that gives you that good knowledge and input or advice, and do that. But know that, like, just because if somebody says this is the only way, well, that's not the truth.
I'd walk away from that. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. Also, we live in the information age. It's 2025.
Yeah.
There's 7 different AI systems on there, right? And I'll just use one, Grok.
Yeah.
Grok.com, on the free version. Go into Grok and say to Grok, I am a male / or female this is my age.
I've done this.
This is my exercise level. This is what I have done. I'm just about to start a new program.
Yeah.
This is the goal I want to achieve. This is how I want to achieve it. I'm looking to do this within a realistic time frame. Suggest a time frame for me. Break me down a exercise that's going to be this long, how much time you have in the day, this many days a week, how many days you're willing to apply it. And push that go button.
Yeah.
And it'll break down an entire program for
That
you.
works.
Right. And that program will work if you follow it, right? Because it's pulling information, because it's going to give you it based on your personal, you're going to give it a personal layout of who you are and what you want. And it'll lay it out for you.
And you also don't overcomplicate it.
No, that's
I think
such
too
a
many
good point.
people do that. Like, people get like sucked into this idea that like if you ask me, what we do is really, really simple. It really is. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, there's no like special sauce or equation that makes it difficult. Like, to me, it's the consistent action that you take. But if you overcomplicate it, it's going to be overcomplicated. Like, I hear people talking about counting macros, and you have to count this and do that. Like,
there's space for
you
that,
do
but you don't have
if
to.
you want to count macros, if that's how you want to go about it. But if you're just like, I forget who this lady was. She actually is a specialist when it comes to men. She spent like most of her career like helping men with testosterone and health and wellness and stuff. And anyway, she was saying how she's like, I get more clients that come to my way that these are men that have gone to coaches, health and fitness coaches, that'll say, you know, basically, I was told I can't have my protein shake or I can't have certain things. And she's like, well, are you going to be a bodybuilder and like get on a bodybuilding stage? And they're like, no. She's like, okay, well then let's figure out what you like and what works for you, and let's let you have those things that fall within your wheelhouse. But the point is, like, she's like, I'm a dad going out to my kid's soccer game. I don't want to take all my meal preps out there. Why can't I take a protein shake? Yeah. Stuff like that, where it's like you have to find what works for your lifestyle and what works for you, and don't overcomplicate.
Yeah, and I mean, in not overcomplicating. Make sure you get enough protein in. Right? What's enough protein? It's a very, very there, but generally 1 gram of protein for 1 pound of body weight.
I personally, though, will take the based on my personal experience and what my body does, and I actually just had a conversation with the guy that's joined us. I'm a proponent of, to lose weight, eating in weight training is a great approach, meaning eating smaller meals multiple times a day, eating 5 to 6 times a day, I think is going to get the body going the way you need it to. Yeah. I like that approach personally. I know there's a lot that have intermittent fasting. I've done it. You've done it.
Works as well.
Works too. But like, again, like, go with what your body responds to, and then stick to it.
And then and that's the second most important thing.
Yeah.
Once you have a routine, don't get on it for a week. I don't see any changes. Give the thing at least 2 months.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, You paint a wall, right? It doesn't dry in 5 seconds. It takes time for the wall to dry. Yeah. Okay? Maybe this is a bad analogy, but the idea is like, take a picture of day one, and then don't get on the scale or take another picture for another month. Yeah. Follow the same pattern for that month. Yeah. Then take a picture at that 30-day mark. Yeah. Look back at picture number 1 and see the improvements. Yeah. Do the same thing. Just keep repeating that. But these aren't changes that are just going to happen overnight. No. This is a journey. This is a lifestyle. Yeah,
it's
not a destination. It's not a. You're not obtaining results.
And you're never going to end off result. It's continuous. It's always moving. It's always changing. It's always goal setting, changing. And the next important thing is, once you find an exercise program, is one of the reasons that our workouts work, right? That we enjoy them so much, is we make them fun, right? We go in, we have camaraderie, we challenge each other. We literally go in there. I'm going into a place for an hour to 2 hours with my best friends, challenging each other, doing something that is the most manly thing you can do, is picking heavy shit up and putting it back down, and picking it up again. Yeah. And I'm doing that with people I enjoy spending time with in a format. Now, what we don't do is we don't dive into. We're not there. This isn't social time. Right. We greet each other, we go in, we're there to have a workout. So everyone's mindset's the same. But then we go in, and those workouts are absolutely fantastic. We enjoy them. There's an enjoyment factor. We get out. So also, once you start getting into this, find a workout partner. Find someone who shares the same values, the same outset, what they want to achieve in there. Try and find someone to go. You train a lot better when you do it in a group.
Accountability too.
Yeah, it helps you just take everything you're doing and push it in. If you're someone who can only train, there's years that I've trained alone. That's great. But in the same breath, I get just as much out of training with people. I don't need to train with someone that's bigger or stronger or can do more than me. I need to train with someone that wants to achieve similar things to me, because we're going to push each other.